I go to Daniel's room first, but he's not there. I head over to the library, but he's not there either. Considering he didn't eat much, I doubted that he would have gone to the cafeteria for a second breakfast. Instead, I wind my way around the school and hesitantly head for the trails, which were deserted now that class was no longer in session. I'm fine, I tell myself. I'm totally fine. I'm safe. Hieronymous is nearby. I am safe. Fortunately, I see Daniel wandering the trails up ahead, and I breathe out a sigh of relief. He appears to be looking up into the branches, trying to find something, but I have no idea what it could be. Hey there, I say amicably as I approach. How's it going? Oh, hey Tori, Daniel says as he shakes his head. Did Hieronymous send you after me? No, I came myself. I was worried about you. You seemed out of it this morning, and you and Hieronymous were heckling each other more than usual. What's wrong? Are you upset that you aren't going home for Thanksgiving break? It's not my holiday, Daniel says as he shakes his head. No, I guess I'm just upset that this isn't really going how I expected. How you expected? I repeat. What did you expect it would be like? I can't help but grin. Besides the cheerleaders and cheeseburgers, I mean. I don't know, Daniel says as he shakes his head. I thought I would have a lot of friends. I thought that I'd have a few girlfriends. I thought I'd be really popular, but aside from people being curious about the fact that I'm an exchange student, no one seems to really notice me. You're doing the best you can, I tell him gently. Think about it. You already asked a girl out and... Okay, maybe she said no, but that happens. You ran for class president and you won. Well, tied, but the point is that you put yourself out there. People know who you are now. But that doesn't seem to matter, Daniel says glumly. I still don't go anywhere. No one besides you and your friends invite me to do anything. Well, maybe you need to put yourself out there a little more, I offer. Instead of waiting for people to ask you to hang out, why don't you ask them to hang out first? There's no guarantee they'll say yes, but you're only here for a year. What do you have to lose? Nothing, I guess. Daniel sighs. I guess I just wanted to look back at my time here as one of the best years of my life. It's been pretty underwhelming, to say the least. I offer him a sad smile, but there's nothing more that I can do. I had tried making an effort to make Daniel feel included with me and my friends, but apparently that wasn't enough for him, and there wasn't more that I could really do. I couldn't wave a magic wand and make Daniel be popular, especially when I had no idea what that word meant. If he really wanted to make this year a year to remember, he was going to have to do that himself. So, what are you doing out here anyway? I ask him. Bird watching? Oh, no, Daniel says as he shakes his head and looks up at the branches again. Do you see anyone up there? See anyone? I repeat blankly, glancing up into the trees. No, why would I? It's probably just my mind playing tricks on me, Daniel says. Forget about it. No, tell me what happened, I insist. What do you think you saw? I was just thinking about my home, Daniel admits. I was thinking about how these woods aren't my woods. I tried to reach out to my home, my woods, when suddenly I felt like I wasn't really safe here. It felt like someone was watching me, so I cast Spirit Sense and got a faint impression of something over my head. I looked up into the tree branches and it was hard to see through the glare of the sun, but I thought I saw a flash of bright red hair. It was probably just a bird that flew away. Red hair? I asked quietly. Yeah, I thought I saw a girl with long red hair watching me from the tree branches, Daniel says. But it was probably just I grab his arm and immediately teleport him outside his door in Wolf Hall. Tori! Daniel squeals. Did you just teleport us? What did you do that for? Get inside, I say, grabbing him by both shoulders. Get inside and lock the door and do not come out until I tell you to. Do you understand? What? Daniel asks. Tori, what's going on? Just do it, I say as I give him a shove towards the door. Daniel rubs his arm and hesitates, but eventually turns and heads inside, shutting the door behind him. Immediately, I teleport back outside Hieronymus's room. My hands are sweating, and I feel like I can't quite catch my breath. I try to take a deep breath in and out, but it feels like I'm choking on the oxygen in my lungs. Tori, Hieronymus says as I enter the room. He's on his feet, and he looks as nervous as I feel. What's going on? You! I stare at him sullenly, incredulously, unable to put my emotions into words. I was in danger. Damien was alive, and all this time, Hieronymus knew that he could come back and strike at any time. Even despite all his talk of protecting me, he knew that Damien could find me and make good on his threat to kill me at any time. Didn't he care? Or did he just think that the odds of Damien finding us again were so unlikely that he didn't want to worry me? Tori, Hieronymus comes over to me and puts his hands on my shoulders, but I just put both of my hands on his chest and push him away from me roughly. Don't touch me, I snap. This is your fault. This is all your fault. You couldn't tell me the truth, and now Daniel is a target. A target? Hieronymus's eyes flash. Tori, talk to me. What is going on? Like you don't already know. I sniff as I go into his closet and pull out my suitcase. We need to go. We're too exposed here. We need to leave. I need to leave. I need to. Tori! Hieronymus grabs my arms and shakes me roughly. Use your words, you stupid girl. Where's Daniel now? Who is targeting you? Damien! I shout in his face. Hieronymus looks surprised and confused as he releases me. Daniel's in his room. I teleported him out of there before he could strike. I told him not to come out until I came to get him. Tori, Damien is gone, Hieronymus says quietly. Don't lie to me! My voice is shrill and shrieking and sounds as unpleasant to my own ears as they must sound to his. I know you're lying to me. You've been lying to me this whole time. I know everything, Hieronymus, so cut the crap. I don't know why you didn't want me to know that Damien was alive, but now he's back and he's going to kill us. Hieronymus stares me down. First, Tori, I need you to calm down. He looks down at my hands and I follow his gaze to see that my fingers are trembling. I clench my hands into fists, but tremors still run through my wrists and it does little to help me. I found Damien on the trails, I explain quickly. He said he didn't feel safe. He said someone with long red hair was watching him. Hieronymus stares at me for a long moment. Is he sure he saw what he thinks he saw? No, I spit. But what does that matter? There's only one person who has long red hair that likes to hide out on the trails and steal people's memories when the campus is deserted. My whole body breaks out into a shiver and suddenly I can't hold myself up anymore as I fall to my knees, wrapping my arms protectively around myself as tears form in my eyes. Tori. Hieronymus drops to his knees beside me, but I just push him away. Don't, I whisper harshly. Don't you dare try to apologize now. What if he came after me first instead of Daniel? You were so insistent to tell me that he was dead, and I decided to let myself believe you. I knew the truth, and even then I didn't challenge you because I didn't want to know better. But now I do. Tori, look at me. Hieronymus takes my face in both hands. I try to push him away, but he holds firm. Tori, you're having a panic attack right now. I don't know what you think you know, but Damien is gone. He can't come back. You're safe. No one is going to hurt you. Liar! I scream at him. Stop lying! Hieronymus just pushes me away from him, and I can't help but fall onto my side. He looks back at me with apology in his eyes, but says nothing as he stands up and starts to pace the room. I quickly pull my knees into my chest as I feel hot tears starting to drip down the side of my face. I cry openly, loudly, wailing into the back of my knees, hating Hieronymus more than I hated Damien. At least Damien was transparent about how much he hated me. But Hieronymus, he let me believe that I was safe. He let me believe that nothing would happen to me. He was always so confident that he would protect me, and yet, when it had come right down to it, he hadn't protected me before, and he wasn't going to be able to protect me now. Tori, crying is not going to help anything, Hieronymus snaps, finally reaching his breaking point. You're giving me a headache. I cry harder. Tori, stop, Hieronymus commands, and I suddenly feel my breath catch in my throat as he casts silence over me. Now, Hieronymus says, taking advantage of the silence descending between us, you insist that I'm lying to you. What do you know that I don't? Everything, I wail as Hieronymus allows me to use my voice again, and I can't tell you anything. Why? Hieronymus asks. Did someone make you promise them something? No, because you'll get mad at me. It sounds so childish to admit to, but wasn't it the truth? I was afraid to be honest with Hieronymus because I didn't want him to get mad at me. I wanted us to have this perfect fairy tale life together where conversation was open and honest and emotions ran freely between us without fear of judgment or reprisal. But that wasn't the way the world worked. You're not putting yourself in a very favorable position right now, Hieronymus warns. This is going to be worse the longer you draw this out. Tell me everything. Do you honestly believe that Damien is out there right now? I nod my head up and down, still barely trusting my voice. Yes. He stares at me. I told you he was dead. Why'd you assume I'm lying? Because Potsdam told me the truth. Now I do look up at him, and he looks stunned. I knew something happened that night in the gym, he snaps. What did she do, Tori? Did she make you relive that night to see how I died? I finished for him. Yeah, I saw everything. I know all about the solemn bond, about how Jason risked his life to save me. So that's why you went to his office that day, Hieronymus mutters as he turns around. Wait, you were the one following me? I demand. I had a feeling that I was being followed, but I quickly teleported away to throw them off my trail. Why didn't you ask me about it? Because you have been keeping so many secrets as of late, Hieronymus snaps back. I waited to see if you would come to me on your own terms, but no. Instead, you trust him with this information before you would come to me. My life was bonded to his, not yours, I remind him. He had a lot more to risk than you did, especially considering he barely knew me. I know you can't understand it because of how much you hate him, but I owe him a lot. This doesn't matter now, he insists. Tell me what she told you about Damien. He was banished from this plane, I tell him. He's not a changeling, he's a demon prince, and he was only at the school looking for a human soul to harvest to ascend to the throne. He was sent to the other world to be imprisoned, but that doesn't mean he can't get out. Potsdam said it probably wouldn't happen in our lifetime, but... Hieronymus shakes his head. And you think that I would ever take that risk? I blink at him. What do you mean? Hieronymus stares at me for a moment as if I'm being purposely dense. He tried to kill me, Tori. Me, an heir of the original founding families. If he was bold enough to come after me, how do any of the other founding families know that they are safe? I puzzle this over for a minute. So you got your dad involved, I say softly, to take him out. Do you think I would ever run the risk that he could ever come back? Hieronymus demands. To attack me? To attack you? To attack innocent children decades from now in a vicious blood feud that we'd have no chance of ending? But if you killed a demon prince, what happens with the demon king? I ask hesitantly. They know he attacked us. They know it was your family name. What happens when they want revenge? There's a lot you don't know, Tori, he says, and I'm not explaining it to you, not right now. I'm going to Daniel's room to scry his memory and see exactly what he saw. You are going to sit here and you are not going to leave this room until I return. Is that clear? I nod my head up and down. Yes. Promise me. I look back up at him, but he's not joking. His face is set with purpose, but this is a face I don't recognize. It's not Hieronymous, but it's not Professor Grabiner either. It's some combination of the two. I won't promise, but no, I won't leave, I say quietly. If Damien is out there and I leave this room, I'm as good as dead. I look back up at him. I was stupid last time. Going to the gym in the middle of the night, people risked too much to bring me back to life. I won't do anything stupid. Not again. Hieronymous just looks me over before he finally nods and storms out of the room. I sit there for a moment longer before I press my forehead into my knees again. Was he telling me the truth? If he was, it made sense that Potsdam didn't know about it. This was between the founding families of the other world and Hieronymus's family legacy. I barely knew anything about either, and Hieronymus didn't seem in a hurry to tell me anything. Would he ever tell me? Or would he just keep everything to himself under the guise of protecting me? Then again, isn't that exactly what I had done to him? I hadn't told him that I had seen the extreme measures everyone had gone through to bring me back to life. I still hadn't even told him that Potsdam was the one who set up our marriage because I was too afraid that if he knew, he might end our relationship out of spite. But if he really did, if his hatred for his father was stronger than his love for me, was that a relationship I really wanted to stay in? I can't help it. I bury my face in my knees and cry away the afternoon.